When Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was announced as Jose Mourinho's successor until the end of the season, it looked as though Manchester United were just trying to bring a feel-good factor back to Old Trafford during a miserable campaign, but that the former United striker would only serve as a stopgap until the Red Devils went all out to get their primary target in the summer. I say it looked as though, but in truth, I'm still 99% sure that was the case. Solskjaer has done more than bring a feel-good factor to Old Trafford though. He's brought a style of play greatly appreciated by the club supporters, and more importantly, results. The Manchester United manager set a record for the most points won by a manager in their first 10 Premier League games at a club, as well as securing an unlikely passage through to the quarter-finals of the Champions League, and he's now the favourite to be appointed the club's long-term boss. This isn't Solskjaer's first stint managing in the Premier League though, since he briefly, and rather unsuccessfully, took charge of Cardiff City in the 2013-14 season, replacing Malky Mackay but failing to find a way out of the relegation zone. Solskjaer signed exactly 7 players during his half-season at Cardiff in the Premier League, and it's those 7 players that we focus on here, but we should point out that he did make further additions following the club's relegation and prior to his dismissal. Here are Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 7 Cardiff City signings. Where are they now? Magnus WolffeCarr, Mould. Solskjaer's first 3 signings at the Cardiff City Stadium were all players he knew well from his time managing in Norway with Mould. The first of those 3 was Magnus WolffeCarr, who Solskjaer has managed on 4 different occasions during his short managerial career. The first of those came in youth and reserve football at Manchester United, where Solskjaer coached and Ikram began his career. Both player and manager moved to Mould in 2011, where Ikram's impressive playmaking abilities saw him called up to the national team. Cardiff paid a reported £3.5 million to bring him to Wales as Solskjaer's first recruit, but Ikram struggled to make any kind of impact. He registered just 6 Premier League appearances, and following moves to Malmo and the Seattle Sounders, he reunited with Solskjaer at Mould in 2018. Mats Møller-Dæhlie, St. Pauli. Another player Solskjaer had in his youth ranks as a coach at Manchester United and as a manager at Mould, Mats Møller-Dæhlie was just 18 when he joined Cardiff City for a reported £2.4 million in January of 2014. At the time of the move, Dæhlie was already a full international, and Solskjaer claimed that Manchester United had wanted to re-sign the midfielder at the time, but he had chosen Cardiff instead. He featured more regularly than Ikram, but he too struggled to make a real impact and was soon on his way. Still only 23 years of age, Dæhlie is currently impressing in Germany's second tier with St. Pauli, and he could still have a bright future ahead of him in the game. Inga Berger, Malmo. The last of the trio of Norwegian internationals signed by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer from his former club Mould in January 2014, Inga Berger played his youth football for Udinese rather than Manchester United. A tireless frontman often deputised on the left flank, Berger partnered former Watford striker Odion Ighalo up front during his time in the Udinese under-20 team. Having bagged 22 goals in 86 games for Mould, Berger registered just 2 appearances and failed to score in his single half-season with the Bluebirds. Now aged 28, Berger recently rejoined Malmo for a second time, having just spent 1 season playing for New York City FC in the MLS. Kenwyne Jones, retired. A little bit more of an experienced signing by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Kenwyne Jones had turned out for the likes of Southampton, Sunderland and Stoke City in the Premier League before arriving at Cardiff. A popular figure at both Sunderland and Stoke, Jones was a little inconsistent during his time in Cardiff, and he was said to be among the club's top earners following relegation to the Championship. The big Trinidadian centre-forward, who was a particular menace in the air, went on to sign for Atlanta United in the MLS, but he retired after just a single season, aged 32 in 2017. Fabio Nome. A Premier League title winner who started in the 2011 Champions League final, Brazilian left-back Fabio didn't feature as regularly at Manchester United as his twin brother Rafael, but he still racked up over half a century of appearances. However, having been sent off in his final appearance for the club under David Moyes, the Red Devils were happy to sanction a £1.5 million deal for the fullback to join Cardiff. Fabio spent 2.5 years in South Wales, where he registered 68 appearances, before being sold for a profit to Middlesbrough. The 28-year-old is now playing top-flight football in France with Nantes, whilst his brother Raphael also turns out in Ligue 1 with Lyon. Wilfried Zaha, Crystal Palace. We don't usually count loan deals in these kind of videos, but since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer brought in exactly 7 players during his time in the Premier League with Cardiff, and we are of course HITC Sevens, it seemed rude not to. The fourth former Manchester United player in this seven, Wilfried Zaha was contracted to United when he joined the Bluebirds on loan, but he was never at Old Trafford at the same time as Solskjaer. The now Ivorian international's confidence had taken a whack following his move to United, where he was Sir Alex Ferguson's final signing, and he didn't make much of an impression during his 13 appearances on loan at Cardiff. The 26-year-old seems to have undergone some real character building since then though, and he's now the main man at Crystal Palace, and one of the most dangerous players in the bottom half of the Premier League. Carla, Las Palmas. A centre-back who won the Europa League as a bit-part player with Sevilla the season before he signed for Cardiff, Juan Torres Ruiz, better known as Carla, lasted less than 12 months in the Welsh capital. A steady centre-back with good technique during his time in Spain, the most notable incident of Carla's brief stay in Britain was a red card he received for pulling back Connor Wickham when the striker was through on goal. Now aged 29, Carla recently had an equally brief stint in China, but is now back in Spain, or the Canary Islands at least, playing in the Segunda Division with Las Palmas. So that's it for our 7. Thanks for watching, feel free to subscribe and turn on notifications for more from us if you enjoyed the video, and you can now also follow us on Twitter for more ramblings from me. Our username is simply @HITC Sevens.